thwackbots have been a staple of Comedy Central BattleBots and Robot Wars, and the rest of Robot Combat. So today we'll be counting down the top 5 most successful and best thwackbots, whether it be design, or age, or the success of their machines. Now let's get on to the intro. So our first pick for number 5 is Hoecrusher. At this time, you can clearly see that its after rank was 7, and it has 7-3 record. But here's the reason why it's number 5. It had lost to Dr. Pro Jr. and 200 mods, but the main reason is that its wins weren't very powerful. However, its wins were good enough, and its losses were good enough to get it to the bottom spot on today's list. My next spot for top 5 thwackbots is Eric Poundin, a 7-3 record. This machine beat things like the Big B, who went to the finals of Season 4. He also beat Death by Monkeys and Low Blow. His losses are also rather impressive. Dr. Pro Jr. ran by Code Black. None of those machines are bad. He also had Melty Brain-like figure that allowed him to control himself while spinning, possibly towards the opponent. For these reasons, and the fact that it's still competing today, this is why it's on the list as number 4. Now, my number 3 spot is Spaz. He won a championship, yes, and that was Season 2 championship. Now, this alone would not put him on the list. Possibly would, maybe number 5. What put him so high on the list is that no other thwackbot has won, and he also competed in the Long Beach 1999 event. So for that, he deserves a number 3 spot. So I can't put him any further as he promptly quit after this. And hey, I'm going to be overrating him. And number 2 is TRex. By now you can probably figure out what number 1 is. But for now, I'm going to talk about TRex. So TRex was a thwackbot with 2 wheels. But yes, that's accurate. What's not so accurate is that it was shaped like a box and the wheels weren't very big. They weren't exposed and they had spikes. But not on the thwackbot, on the front of the bot. It kind of had a hammer for a thwack weapon. TRex made it to the semifinals of Season 3, and that season did have Hazard, which it promptly lost to. And although it had some success in the other seasons, it didn't have much success. But 7-3 record, and it beat some impressed robots, like T-, for example. Very good robot, and a very good design that I'd like to see if the active weapon rule didn't exist. Now, before we get to number 1, which might be obvious to you by now, here's some honorable mentions. The first is Sting or Stinger. This bot had a 12-10 record, and I believe that, but I don't count 2 of its wins, due to not being enough battle, and the battles it did win were rather weak, and it had 10 losses. Sure, some of that was Extreme and Extreme 2, but I just can't ignore that, and the 50-50 bot shouldn't really be on here. My other mention is Carnage Raptor. Although it does have a 7-3 record, its weak wins except Low Blow, Where We Getting Hexy Jr., and loss to Salad took it off this list. With wins against Frenzy, Mo, Mecha War, and Surgeon General, and Warhead as well. With his wheels so indestructible, it has never been knocked out. And with his Rambo knife ready, you'd think it wouldn't be worse. But here we go. It's Wedge. Overkill. Its 13-5 record defines how good thwackbot could be. Made it to the final of Season 4. Was a solid contender in all the seasons, I'd say. And Overkill was just a proper design that puts a thwackbot into a control category more than most thwackbots because of its amazing wedge. That survives basically anything. And for this bot, we couldn't put anywhere else except the number 1 spot. The respect given to this bot is rather underrated, I'd say. So, go to Comedy Central and see how this bot fared. With how plentiful thwackbots were back in the day, it's kind of funny to see how little were actually successful overall. But their age will always be remembered. And it will never be done again in BattleBots or Robot Wars, except Gabriel.